Russia's reputation has been damaged forever and irreversibly. In just days, there have been 3 Ukrainian special operations.
This is what the Belaya airfield looks like now. Strategic enemy aviation.
The attack on the airfields was not the only blow to Putin. His Kerch Bridge fell to humiliation of the Russian Federation. Or rather, it was help to not withstand it. The explosions on the Kerch Bridge were the work of the SBU. They occurred on June 3rd at 4:44 a.m. when the first explosive device was detonated.
God loves the Trinity, and the SBU always sees its plans through to the end and never repeats itself. Previously, we struck the Crimean Bridge in 2022 and 2023. Today, we continued it underwater.
How did the operation unfold? How did the security service manage to reach the bridge again, and how did Russia respond? All this and more coming up in just a moment. The importance of the illegally constructed Kerch Bridge for Russians is hard to overestimate. Thanks to the crossing, the occupiers are able to replenish reserves in occupied Crimea and transfer military equipment. Later, all of this is sent in 2 directions.
Well, trains go across the Crimean Bridge, as well as vehicles, trucks, and lorries that deliver ammunition directly to the group fighting in the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson directions. That's why when this bridge ceases to exist, it's clear that logistics will get worse.
Moreover, destroying the bridge will mean that Russian troops will effectively be cut off from Russia. That is precisely why the Ukrainian security service continues its attempts to inflict irreparable damage. The Kerch Bridge was first attacked on October 8, 2022. At that time, a truck packed with explosives detonated on the crossing. As a result of the explosion, 2 spans were damaged and a train carrying fuel caught fire. The second attack took place on July 17, 2023. At that time, the Crimean Bridge was attacked by surface drones of the Security Service of Ukraine. One of the spans collapsed. In other words, the bridge had been blown up on the road, in the water, and now also underwater. SBU agents mined the supports of the crossing, but it would have been impossible to do this manually since 100 kilograms of explosives in TNT equivalent were planted. But we'll talk about how they managed to do it a little later. As for the attack itself, according to the SBU, the explosion caused significant damage to the structures at the bottom level. As a result of the explosion, the bridge is now in an emergency condition.
For the Russians, this strike, especially since it came right after the previous one, which was no less painful, is of course something that could shake a few of their core beliefs. The so-called Crimean Bridge is in fact one of those imperial pillars.
As we mentioned, it's simply impossible to deliver explosives to this imperial pillar by hand, although we've already established that it's unwise to doubt the SBU. But it seems more logical that the explosives were delivered to the supports by drones. The publication Defense Express suggests that these could have been Toloka underwater drones, specifically the Toloka 400. It has a range of 200 kilometers and a warhead weighing 500 kilograms. Or the Toloka 1000. This underwater drone can cover a distance of 20 kilometers and carry up to 50 kilograms. Another possible option mentioned by experts is the use of Marichka. Tests of this underwater drone were already shown back in August 2023. They have a range of 10 kilometers and are capable of carrying over a ton of explosives. But in fact, the information about what or who exactly blew up the bridge is not so important. The main thing is the fact, and that fact exists. Such a blow to Putin's pride has angered his court lapdogs. In particular, Solovyov, as usual, started talking about retribution.
But if Ukraine strikes the Crimean Bridge? What is stopping us from destroying the Kiev authorities? Personally, I really don't understand.
But at the same time, the Kremlin officially reports that everything is under control. They acknowledge the explosion but claim that supposedly nothing serious happened.
There really was an explosion, but nothing was damaged. The bridge is functioning. The Kiev regime continues its attempts to attack civilian infrastructure. The Russian side is taking appropriate precautionary measures based on the well-known and understandable nature of the Kiev regime.
Such a reaction is not surprising, since the Kerch Bridge is too important to admit that the crossing might not last long, that could cause panic.
War is above all about logistics, and the purpose of this bridge for the Russians, first and foremost, is to ensure stable, uninterrupted logistics. You can keep a group of force of even 100,000 troops there, but if they have nothing to fight with and logistics are disrupted, that could be destroyed.
The main result of this operation is that the Russian military contingent will be blocked in Crimea when such a need arises. They will only be able to enter or leave Crimea through the so-called northern gates, precisely where we can easily reach them. After all, it's only 100 kilometers from the positions of the Ukrainian defense forces. We have enough strike capabilities that can reach that distance. To be more precise, that's almost all of our available operational level assets.
All this means only one thing. It's time for the Russians in occupied Crimea to pack their bags, because they're being directly hinted that the work on the Kerch Bridge isn't finished yet.
As you already realize, the illegally constructed Kerch Bridge, which connects the occupied Crimea with the territory of the aggressor country, with the territory of Russia, will soon be demolished, and you could find yourselves in a kind of trap. Therefore, I strongly and sincerely urge you to leave the peninsula immediately, without any further hesitation, and return home to Russia, to each and every one of the places from which you illegally came to the occupied territory of Crimea.
It is worth noting that this warning was not given out of any concern for the occupiers. It's much simpler than that.
If you remain in Crimea by that time, the Russian generals will most certainly, absolutely and definitely use you as a human shield, just in order to save their own skins and protect themselves from any consequences. Believe me, this wouldn't be the first time they've done something like that. So, citizens of Russia who are illegally staying in occupied Crimea, do not put off your departure from Crimea until tomorrow. You simply might not make it in time.
What do you think? Will the bridge be destroyed this summer? Share your opinion in the comments and don't forget to like this video. And be sure to subscribe to our Arsenal channel so you don't miss any of the most interesting updates.